later in the day, we find a crowd gathered at the slave market, where, with their physiques exposed to view, slaves await their turn upon the auction block before the assembled planters.
Every slave fears the most. In the first half of the 19th century, over 500,000 slaves are sold at auction. It's a business worth $2 billion to the Southern economy.
On March 3, 1859, the largest sale of African slaves in the United States came to a sad conclusion near Savannah, Georgia, when the last slaves formerly owned by plantation owner Pierce Meese Butler were sold in order for Butler to satisfy his considerable debts. Known to history as the Great Slave Auction, or alternatively as the Weeping Time, a total of 436 human beings were sold like pieces of property. Soon, the U.S. Civil War would be fought, and slavery would end in the United States, preventing any such future crimes against humanity, such as this mass slave sale.
As mentioned previously in previous lessons, the concept of the trust is something which is an invention of the law of equity. It comes out of the concept of equity within the development of the common law. And it was an invention in around the 18th century where, for the most part, landowners would essentially create some kind of protection for the benefit of their future families, some kind of protection of that land for the benefit of future families. And it's from here that we can get to some kind of definition of what a trust ultimately is. Now, a trust is essentially a relationship in law whereby the holder or the owner of some property will be able to transfer the legal title, transfer that ownership to another individual, but not in the sense that they are transferring it because they want to give it to them as a gift, but for that individual to hold said property for the purpose of benefiting a third party, another individual. And that's what a trust is. You're holding property on trust for the benefit of some individual.
My nigga, he is Mr. Solomon North. You see, you come here unfamiliar to me and make claims.
I've no doubt, the man is Solomon North.
The hell he is. He's my nigga, and I'll fight you for it. As is your right. As it will be my pleasure to bankrupt you in the courts. Your decision. Unhand him. You had some hand in this plan. I'm gonna get to the bottom of it. Pay him no mind. I paid good money for this nigga. Courthouse got papers to prove it. And we got papers proving he's free. I own you. You belong to me. You let me unhand him. You have 200 shots across your back by sundown. Clemens? Clemens Ray! Clemens? Mr. Ray, son, Mr. Ray! Who's in charge here?
I'm the captain.
I'm Mr. Jonas Ray. My solicitor has documentation verifying the Negro known as Clemens Ray as my property.
I know nothing of this arrangement.
You are ordered to return that property immediately or be charged with thievery.
Free him!
That means that enslaved people are worth more than all the factories, all the stocks and bonds, and all the currency combined. In the 1850s, an enslaved young man about 18, 19, 20 years old in New Orleans goes for anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500. If we account for inflation, that $1,000 to $1,500 actually is equivalent to about $230,000 to $250,000. It's a ton of money.
So the takeaways from this post should be looking into trust law and how we were converted into property via trust law. Who is the custodian? Who are the true and rightful heirs? As we take a look through paperwork and documentation, look into how these colonies were established through trust law. Peace.